Next, we're going to install these front spars. In your kit, you're going to find 4 12-inch spars. These are leading edge spars. We're going to line mark, so we're going to cut that off. So again, make sure you got a sharp blade, piece of scrap bone. Make sure that it's cutting in nice and easy. Now to cut this spar slot out, we want about 1/4 inch depth. So on this knife here, and I get these from Harbor Freight because I can get these blades real cheap. Once the thing just protrudes, one more click, it sets it about the proper depth. We use this as a guide. Now what we're going to do is just going to take our straight edge. Now we've taken a spar, and we've gone in, okay, about from the, if you can see it here, this is where here's where the panel joins right there. Okay, you can see the dots right there where the panel joins. So we're going to go about 1/4 inch past that, okay, to start the slot, because we want to start the spar at about 1/4 inch just to give it a little bit of material there to join the two pieces up front. So right there, that dot is right on where the center of the wing panel and center section joint. So we're going to start the cut about 1/4 inch up there. We went ahead and put our spar about where we want it and marked it a little bit past where the spar slot is here. So now we're just going to cut that real simply. Line it up. Now, the first cut, just because we got this and we can't set the depth of the straight edge there, obviously. So just run your blade out a little bit, okay, and go up about 1/4 inch past that, okay, and run you a slit all the way down to your mark. Okay, real simple. Make sure it's clean. Now, run your knife blade up to that one click, so it's about 1/4 inch deep. That's such a uniform depth. And just go in your slot, and it will follow your cut, and you just go in there and clean out the cut to the correct depth. Okay, it's really that simple. What I like to do is cut the tape off right about there and peel it back, so because I know where my starting from place. Because you have to pull this tape off where you put the spar in there, so I know where it goes to. It's not that big of a deal, really. It's this way I know where it ends at, so we got to take all this off. Now, also, when we're doing this here, we want to do this, we're going to glue this spar, and we want to make sure this wing is in the saddle and pressed down. Okay, so it's flat. We want to build in the saddle. The reason for that is to keep the saddle flat on the workbench. We build in the saddle. It makes sure there's no warps or twists in the wing. Now, taking your CA glue, a little nozzle there, find out where it starts here, just put your little nozzle down inside the slot, and just simply go down the slot. And we're going to put CA glue in the slot here. And now we're just simply going to take one of our spars here, and we're going to start again about 1/4 inch past where the panel and the center section are, and we're just going to run that spar down in there. It's really that simple. And you have your CA, just wipe that off. First, push it together a little bit, make sure it's sparred all the way down in there. Now we want to make sure that wing stays flat while that dries. And now we're going to do the other side. The CA I use, now there's various ones. I get this stuff from Woodcraft. It's called Stick Fast, and the reason I like it, it's a long application time. It does so it doesn't set up real quick. It gives you a little bit of time to work. Use that in conjunction with some kicker. Works really good. Any good medium CA should work just fine. Just kind of remember your working speed as you get kind of used to it. So anyway, now we need to just go ahead and put the spar over here, and then we're going to do the bottom ones on the front ones as well. Now that we've got the front spars in place, top and bottom, okay, we're going to mount the center spar. Now on the center spar, there's a slot that's cut into the center section. That's where the rear main spar goes. That just happens to be the rearward part of the CG, where you want to balance it at. Now you're going to have 2 more 12-inch spars in there. These are going to be cut down though, because this has got to fit between the 2 leading edge spars here. So what I do is a piece of tape right there so I can draw it with my Sharpie there. And then just draw you a line, make sure to line it up. One thing I like to do is just take something like this and, a little protractor and line it up, so it's nice and at a 9-degree square to the center section, and that way you've got it straight. then draw the line straight out. And I cut the tape off right where the end of the spars are so I can see where it goes. Now, there's going to be 2 more 12-inch spars. Take one of these 12-inch spars, the main spars, and you're going to just have to measure it and cut it down so it fits in between those 2 spars and in that slot. And the reason if you cut those down is because depending on where you put this and this, it's going to vary just a little bit. So now, same technique. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut this slot. Again, that spar goes right down the center of that, so you want to cut that line through the center of that. Okay, same thing here. That's the thing. Sharp knife, Wes, sharp knife. Got the wrong knife, I got 2 of them sitting here. Okay. Now this may require, you want to fit this spar, cutting a little deeper out here and out here because the way the geometry is, it kind of goes in like this, and you want to make sure it's deep enough. And start by cutting your standard slot. Okay. And then go out 1 more click, but don't go the whole click in. And just kind of cut out the thick section out here, the meaty area here. The next thing you want to do, before you glue this one is, you always want to trial fit it so you don't run into a problem. Just make sure that it fits between the 2 spars, and it will go down in there, and it will go down. You got the outside part deep enough so the inner part right here is flush. Okay, so that's why you have to cut out the ends a little bit deeper so the center end's flush. And once you're satisfied with that, you're just gonna glue it in place just like the other ones. Here. Make sure you get a good fill of glue here, because remember this is the main strength of the airplane right there, is on this part here. So just make sure you got don't overdo it obviously, but just make sure you got plenty in there. Now, taking this 10-inch spar here, I'm going to run it down in there next to that spar, and then very simply just push it down into place. Now, if it's done right, that spar should fit down in that slot nice and firm. The reason that's important because that's going to find an ideal for our firewall right there. And since there's a little bit of slot, never hurts to put a little bit of CA in there, like that. A little bit of kicker. Take that off and fill that in. Okay, once you got that done, flip it over and do the other side. Now that the main spars are in, we're going to put the rear spars in. And these are important because wings, when they crash, and these are on all my Stingers, they break right in here with inertia going forward. So we're going to draw this out by starting by putting a point, a 1/4 inch from where the panel and the center section meet out along the main spar line. We're going to draw another point 1.5 inches up from the wingtip. And the tip right there, make a point. And then we're going to draw a line in between these two here. Okay, that's our reference line. Now, make sure you can always adjust that a little bit if you need to. If you've gone by the plans there, you should be okay, because that's going to be a little close right there. But if you need to move it up a little bit, rotate a little bit, do that. But all we're going to do is cut down. We're going to put these 6-inch spars here. So I've taken a 6-inch spar and I've measured out 6 inches along this line here. And we're just simply going to install them the same as other spars. We're going to make a cut and we're going to put them in right there. And we'll simply make our cut to our 1/4 inch depth. Cut line. I might caution, when you use tape and cut, sometimes little pieces of tape will get stuck in there. any fine line Sharpie you get in there, when you hit it with CA, is going to smear, so gotta be careful of that. So, and there's going to be 6 of these, I'm sorry, there's going to be 4 of these 6-inch spars that you'll find in the kit. Like the other ones, put some CA in there, and then this in here. This one just needs to go barely below the surface. I mean, get it down in there like it should be, but as long as it's out of the way. There we go. There we go. Now go install the other on that side, and then do the other side of the wing as well.
Mounting the firewall is real simple, and we're just going to use CA. We're simply just going to glue this firewall, just kind of eyeball it right in the middle there. Line up the top of the firewall with the centerpiece there, and we're going to use some CA. Making sure we got good coverage with the CA there. Overdid it a little bit there. Shoot a little bit of kicker on it. Oops. Try not to drop it. And then just line it up at the tops there. So that's flush. Just kind of eyeball it in the middle, and you're good to go. On the center section, there could possibly be a small lip where the hot wire cuts it. If it is, make sure to cut that little lip off there, because as long as there's the center section is cut on a CNC foam cutter, so it's perfectly 90 degrees. So as long as there's no lip there and you put that on there, this firewall is going to be dead on the center line. Okay, so while that's drying, we'll set that up. Now the little top and bottom pieces for the firewall go here and here. We're going to make that out of the center section of the saddle, or if you save the center section off the top part, you can just make it out of here, which is what I've done here. And what you want is this area right around the firewall, because that's where the airfoil is going to be about the same. So all I did here is I just marked the line there where the firewall goes, and then of course I did the same thing on this right here. And then we're just going to cut, this is where the firewall will be, and then we're just going to cut 1 inch on either side of that. And we've got 2 small pieces, and of course the airfoil shape is right here. So now these will get glued right here behind the firewall. What you want to make sure is, actually let's do the bottom one first, because the bottom one generally make a little bit longer. Make sure you get the airfoil in the right spot. Okay. Another thing you might want to do is go ahead and cut the center, even if you don't use the bottom piece, go ahead and cut the center section out where the firewall goes, because if you get it past the firewall, it makes it easy to put all this back in. Now I've got the one piece that I've cut. You may have to go through, depending on how well you cut it, and slice the face where it mounts up flush with the firewall. This one is flush, so we're good to go there. I'm working on the bottom side of the wing right now. And now what we're simply going to do is just glue this in place. And I'm not going all the way out to the end there, because we're not going to be using all the end out there, but make sure you got plenty of glue where it's going to hook up to the foam and the back of the firewall. And I'm just going to put that in place. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Now that that fairing's right on there, what we're going to shape it is you're going to need a sharp blade, okay? And we're going to use the top of the firewall as a guide. We're simply going to place this on top of the firewall. There we go, we're going to cut there, and that makes that nice and flush. And the rest of it you just need to trim out by following the firewall. Like that. That's why I didn't put glue on the very ends out there, because we knew that part was going to be cutting off. Do the same here for the other side. There we go. And put a bevel on the front. And that's all there is to it. It makes a fairing. All you do is just flip it over and do the other side.